No matter what them say, no matter what them do.
Okay. Okay, Shagun said, oh, wow, I've gotten responses. So let me unmute Eniola first.
No matter what them say, no matter.
Okay, so I could see, are we always using the link to join all the programs? Yes, Prince, we are using the link to join all the programs. I didn't understand what I said, software testing only. Hey, this one, they have made up their mind though. Okay. Shegun Bolade says software testing and UI UX. Eniola said, no. Eniola, you cannot come and comment here. You cannot come and comment here. You cannot. Eniola said mobile development only like before encore. Anyways, how clear for me, Miracle, don't worry, keep finding your path. You see it. Maybe it's even today. Either today or tomorrow, you'll be able to make your final decision. Customer said, well, before now, I've started software testing training on my own I've loved the software testing. Okay. Shorter said front end till maybe to the end or still, I don't know. Wait, so I can only see like 4 responses. How many people are here? 23. Claude. Prince said, I guess software testing only, but I might just be interested in UI UX. Okay. Please, let me look for somebody in the team. So, Olagoke, Prince, Basi, please go to the general channel. The 3 of you go to the general channel and tell them to join in that we have started. So, one person should drop it on the introduction channel. One person should drop it on the general channel. And one other person should drop it on, let me see. So if you see that somebody has dropped on general, don't bother to drop it again, okay? So one person should drop on, in fact, okay, let me even break this up before somebody say that, hey, there. I know Victor, please drop it on general. Basi, drop it on CSL introduction channel, right? And then, who was the third person I called? I called somebody. Olagoke Olayemi, drop notification or reminder for people to join in on the CSL Gallery channel. So please, I'm waiting. I'm seeing my screen right now, waiting for your messages. Drop it on any channel that I've called you to mention it. Go to that channel, mention it to them, or give them a reminder with the link that they should join in right away. Okay? I'm here. Don't drop it in the thread. Drop it like bang bang. Let it be very obvious for everybody to read and see. Okay? So yes, please do that. Victor, Olagoke, Olayemi, and Basi. I don't know if they are still on this copy. They are run away. If you run away, I will find you anywhere you are. All right, so please do that. I've not seen your messages at all. So please do that. All right, so while we are waiting for them to do that, thank you so much, everybody, for joining. And yes, we just start right away because we have spent some time already. Apologies, I've been late. I just got cut off, where's the apples and where's the carriers like that. So today we are going to have 2 fantastic topics. In fact, courses, in fact, presentation. In fact, I don't even know what to call it. I also know that, see, if your leg is not strong very well, all of you that say something, if your leg is not strong very well, don't just find yourself after this evening picking something else. Those I did not warn you. I warned you. All right, so today we are going to be having the first speaker for today is for product management, and the next person will be on Android development. So for product management, let me clear my throat. Let me do proper introduction. My own Jara is always much, so you have to take it like that, okay? So for product management, we have Mrs. Nifemi Okuboyejo. She is, in fact, wait, there's something I want to read, so just hold on for me. Hold on, no, I'm coming. Just give me some minutes, okay? I'm going to read a little about her for you. Don't worry. I'm coming now. I will see her. Okay? Who is this one? No, this is not my Nifemi. No, this is not the Nifemi I'm looking for. Okay, I've seen her. Very, all these people that are very good, their profile is just always very small, like very, very small. They just something light. Is it that we don't have a lot of things like that we used to write a lot of stories just to express ourselves? So she said she's a lover of art and acts of building something tangible out of an intangible. She, in fact, from that place, we already see product, idea, initiation, and all those things. And she fill in the white spaces and can juggle multiple responsibility. She thrives mostly in a team and prioritizes understanding the problem users experience in order to build the right solution. She, the solution builders are here, both the Android and the product person. So here we are going to be having Mrs. Nifemi. So thank God she's on the call with us. She's part of our organizer for this program. So yes, we're going to be having her for, see, just fasten your seatbelt. Fasten. Are you ready? Yeah, fasten up your seatbelt and I'll hand over to her.
Wow. Ibironke. Oh, guys, this is how Ibironke toasts everybody. She will just be whining you. Ibironke.
We are here. Thank
you so much. Good evening, everyone. I'll just proceed to share my screen. I hope we had a great day. Let me know if you can see my screen.
It's coming up. Yes, we can. Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay. So I'll just like to, have the chat as well. Okay. Yes, so good evening once again. If you can hear me and if you can see my screen, please, I really love feedback. So let me know in the chat. Okay, yes. Okay, all right, great. Okay, so today I will be doing an introduction to product management, and I'll just try to get as many more people. Some people already indicated an interest in the product management track, so let's see if we'll have more people join us in the product management track. Okay, so this is what the outline looks like. I'll share a little bit of my story, then a few things, a few misconceptions around product management, then product versus product versus project, right? Then I'll give you a little introduction and then introduce you to the curriculum. Okay, so this is me. My name is Nifemi Gwejo. And so basically I started working as a product manager in 2016. That was straight out of school. So a little bit of background, right? So prior to that time, I studied electrical and electronics engineering in school, OAU, actually. Right. And I mean, the standard in most Nigerian universities is that once you are in your fourth year, you will undergo a compulsory internship, right? So I did my internship and then I did it with a multinational here in Lagos, Nigeria. And I did some engineering type work, right? I visited some power plants, etc. And the work was, I had a great time. However, there was like a void, there was a void during my internship experience. And so on campus, I had a lot of friends, that were into tech, that were writing, programming languages, they were writing code, and I tried a couple of times and I did not succeed. I tried, I actually did try, I'm still trying anyways, but I just knew I wanted to do something in tech, I knew that was like the next thing, it was the future, companies will be tech enabled. And one of the discoveries I made during my internship was that, interns from other countries where we had access, where I did my internship, I had access and could see what other interns were doing. And they were building like very cool stuff with technology. And I was just here moving up and down, responding to emails. And I wasn't really contributing directly to the business, I I wasn't doing so much, and then I did not feel so fulfilled. So that opportunity plus my exposure back on campus, and then the experience with people and friends that I had on campus, made me realize what I did not want. And then I knew that I wanted to be in tech, right? I also knew that I wanted to do something that would allow me interact with people, because I just love, to interact with people. Then the third thing I wanted was that I wanted to contribute significantly to any company, any organization that I will be joining. There's more to the story actually. I'll just try to keep it very short. So all these things made me, know what it is that I wanted to do back then. So I didn't know it as product management. I knew nothing about product management. However, during one of the major strikes back then in OAU, we had a 6-month strike. I did a particular course, a project management course, PMP. So I just thought that, maybe I'll just do PMP, I'll just do project management. So I started looking for internship opportunities. I spoke to a couple of friends and older colleagues. And then I explained to them, I told them that I was looking for an internship opportunity in project management, something that will allow me to work with tech, in the tech space, right? And then, so I spoke to a couple of people actually. Interestingly and thankfully, one of them, knew about an opportunity where he was working then, and then he told me that his boss was looking for an intern, a product management intern. So I met his boss, interviewed, and then I got in and started my product management journey, right? So I started as an intern and basically, started with no experience, not even knowing what product management was all about, and learned on the job. So that was in 2016. And then over the years, I have had the opportunity to, build a number of products, both for consumers directly and then for internal teams, so enterprise products. So that's my story, the short form. Yes. Right. So I'm sure we all have, for people that are interested in product management, and then for people that will be interested, that will eventually join us, I want you to, just do, reflect, right? What do you want? Because, we have had a number of facilitators come introduce us into different tracks in tech. And one of the reasons why we are doing this is, for us to see the possibilities, really. There are a lot of roles in tech, even more than beyond what it is that we are introducing us to. So there are lots of possibilities in tech. But one of the things that will help you in making a decision is to, have an understanding of where you want to be. So I love to start with the end in view. Of course, we don't exactly know our end in code. Like what I mean by that is start with the goal in view. So where do you want to be in 20 years? Where do you want to be in 15 years? What do you see yourself doing? Those are some questions you ask yourself. Then what are your likes? And then also another way to make the decision, one other factor that will help you is to also project into the future. What are some things, what are some of these fields that will be very viable, that will still stand very strong in tech. Tech is here to stay anyway, so whatever path you choose, I believe you do amazing there. Okay, so what is product management? So 2 pictures, come to mind. A product manager basically is at the center of all these things. So in some organizations, you find a product manager here, maybe in organizations where the teams are a lot smaller. So you have the design team, the engineers, and then the business, right? Or you can find a product manager here. So what is common to these 2 images here is that you are at the center, right? You are like the center of gravity. So you are holding. If you remove this ring, nothing will connect customer development, sales, legal, finance, research. If you separate these and then there is no union here, then design will be on one hand, tech on one hand, business on one end. So product management and product managers, are the people that, as a product manager, you are at the center. You bring all these things together, right? And I will still go deeper into what product management is and what product managers do. Okay, so we'll just continue. Before I explain that, I just thought to, differentiate, just look at the differences between product and project management, because, I often get this question like, okay, so what is project management? What do project managers do? How are they different from product managers, right? So to help us really understand project. So when you hear the word project, and you can let me know in the chat, so I am not doing this alone. I feel lonely already. So if you're following, please let me know what comes to mind when we hear the word project. So I'm waiting to read from us. When you hear projects, what comes to mind? We have this project. We want to do this project. What comes to mind? Okay. Okay, I am waiting. Okay, somebody said research. I love this response. A task, yes. A task, yes. Please keep it coming. When you hear project, what comes to mind? A specific task. I really love that. Thank you so much, Daniel. Yes, it is a plan of work set aside for a goal. Fantastic. Yes, so you're absolutely correct. So projects are, are specific. They are time bound. When you hear that, oh, federal government has this project that they have given out to XYZ company, like it is defined. A project projects are mostly defined, right? And then of course, projects typically would have a goal, and then they would have like a timeline, yes. So that's what a project is, right? But when you hear products, what comes to mind? When you hear a product, any item, that has a economic value or that meets a need comes to mind. So my mobile phone, this is a product, right? It is not time bound. This is a product. A service, maybe a photography, somebody that renders a photography service, that's a product, right? Your Nike shoes, yes, that's a product. What else comes to mind? Your mobile applications, that's a product, right? So products are different from projects, right? And now to explain the differences between project and product management. Project management has to do with the management of that specific task, that has been, that has been carved out, that has been, scoped for someone to execute. So project managers are more execution focused. They will be focused on, achieving that thing that we want to do, say, within this timeline. Whereas product managers and product management is very strategic. It has to do with, the management of a product, right? What that means is you will be in charge of, the entire research that goes into, getting this product alive, the research, the validation, all the market analysis you need to do. And then you also be in charge of creating a plan, right, on how to bring the product to life. So it's different from project management. So there are some engineering teams that have project managers. Actually, they have both product managers and then project managers, right? Where the product manager is in charge of like everything that has to do with this product. So let me use my phone for an example. So let's say we have a Pixel product manager, that is in charge of the Pixel phones that Google manufactures, right? We can now have a project manager that is in charge of a particular, maybe Google wants to launch a Pixel 7, for example. We can have a project manager on that project. We can also have a product manager on that particular project, on that particular product. So for that product, what the product manager will be doing is, thinking about what it is, how to meet the user's needs, or how Google can be different, how Google can make their own and stand out in the market, the product manager will be in charge of, the acceptance in the market, how to take this product to the market. The person will be looking out for feedback, right? How to improve the product, because the product doesn't end. Teams and businesses keep improving a product, right? Until maybe it dies or until it matures or until it evolves, right, into something else. It will be a project. So we want to implement, so under that particular under the Pixel product division, we can have a project manager who is in charge of, ensuring that we launch Pixel 7 in the market. What that person will be doing is, working specifically with, depending on the team, right? Because teams define these terms in different ways. The person will ensure that engineers keep to time. The person will just be focused on ensuring that we meet that timeline, ensuring that we'll be focused on all the tasks, everything that we need to do to ensure that we meet timeline. The person will not think about the strategy. The person will think about the plan. That's not going to be the person's core competency area. So I hope you understand. So here I have here that a product manager, you'll be focused on building the roadmap, you do a lot of research, and then the role is strategy focused, right? While for project, you'll be involved in managing specific initiatives. So you'll most likely be given instructions what to work with, right? Oh, this is what we want to do. We want this mobile device to have a camera. So what do we need to implement, this particular feature? Do we need to talk to partners? Do we need to do this? So you'll be focused on specific tasks anyways. Right. So to define product management, what I did here was to separate the words. So a product is a commodity, which I already mentioned earlier. Then management has to do with the control and organization of something. So I'll just quickly move fast so I can keep to time. So now, what is product management? I really love this definition from Product Plan, right? This is a product company. So here, Product Plan defines product management as a practice of strategically driving the research, development, market launch, continuous support, and improvement of a company's products. Yes. Right. So strategically, it's a strategic role, right? And for people that will be in the class, don't worry, we'll, talk more about this. We'll shed more light on this. This is just a career session. It's an introductory class. So let me just quickly run. Okay. Right. So what is in product management? So product management is not policing development teams to get work done. So that means I won't be teaching you how to run after software engineers, because some people, there are some organizations and then some teams that, have this as their core and focus when it comes to product management. So this is in product management. Product management is a strategic role. You'll be working on creating plans, roadmaps, coming up, innovating, etc. So product management is not project management. It is not just writing requirements and organizing meetings. Yes, a product manager will do all these things, but the role is bigger than this, and it's a very interesting role. And as a product manager, because you are at the center of all this, you get to have a taste of everything. So you get to have a taste of UX, you get to have a taste of quality assurance, you get to have a taste of even engineering, you get to experiment, and you can even experiment by building things on your own. So it's an interesting role. It's a role where you get to fill in a lot of white spaces. So yeah. So why should you join us here? So I have these two images, right? So this is from Glassdoor, right? And then this is a salary scale. This is from a research that was conducted in the US, so not Nigeria. I not find any report for Nigeria. I'll be happy to read about that. So this is what product managers earn, in the United States. This is the average salary. So if you have less than 2 years of experience, you earn an average of $74,000. If you have 15 plus, this is the average amount you earn. And we have product managers that even earn more. But even beyond that is the satisfaction that comes with the job, because as a product manager, you'll be doing a lot of things, interesting things. You'll be solving problems. I mean, that's one of the very things I love about my job as a product manager, because I get to take things from intangible to tangible. Somebody comes up with an idea, or you dream or think about something, or you observe a need in the market, right? And then you put in all the work and then bring it to life. You launch that particular product, and it's just very beautiful. It's one of the reward that comes with the job, just meeting needs and then seeing people use what it is that you have built. Right. So responsibilities of a product manager. So yes, I touched on this earlier. You identify customer needs, right? And then we would look at these. The class is going to be very practical. So we'll be working with an idea. We'll be looking at several needs, right? And then we'll also do some research. Then you also merge that with the business objectives, right? Because companies are here to make profit. I mean, that was what I was taught in secondary school anyways. And I know that most businesses are here to deliver value, of course, and make money as well. Yeah, articulate success, etc. Let me just quickly move fast. Right. So what do you need to be in this class, or what do you need to be a product manager? So here are some things that you need. However, I love to focus on this. This is my own way of summarizing a PM skill set. Number one for me is you need a scientist outlook. What do I mean by that? You need to be able to experiment, and then you need to have a process, a method of doing things. Scientists do not just come and say, hey, this is this. They take their hypothesis through a particular process, right? And then a process to validate that hypothesis, right? Yeah, so as a product manager, you'll be doing a lot of experimentation, right? While, some things may come to you, through your instinct, you still need to be able to back them up with data and research. The second thing here is curiosity. So as a product manager, you need to be able to ask questions, ask why, you understand why, and not just build things. So for example, someone comes, maybe a member of the executive, or you're hired, to join a particular company, and then I'm trying to think of an example. You've been hired to launch Pixel. You need to understand why, for who, so that you can meet the right need. You need to understand what it is, who you are solving for, and why you are doing that, so that I don't know if we know OnlyFans. If you know OnlyFans, so that what happened to them will not happen to your product. I'll just keep it very simple. Then the third thing here is a thinker's mind. Yeah, you need to be hands-on, right? Then the fourth thing here is an artist view. That's being able to pay attention to details, being able to dream, right? Being able to, just think big, being able to travel into the future, and then being able to empathize as well. I think these are some of the things artists are able to do. They just have a way of for people that maybe paint or so, they have a way of paying attention to the little things, and then they also have a way of paying attention to humans, right? And then they give us a product, they give us an art piece, because they have paid so much attention. They have studied a particular plan or studied a particular niche, and then they just come up with something interesting. So yeah, right, we're almost done. So what do you need to get started, right? So for me, I like to just break this down into 3 things, right? Your principles, right? I'm sure we would have heard of things like agile. This is an agile team. We are customer focused in this company, like Google. Our poll is also customer focused, and then they are very, very design oriented as well. So principles, right? Your principles, your philosophies, and in addition to the principles or philosophies held by the business, you also need to know what it is you're living by and working by, right? And then the second thing is your frameworks, right? So you'd have heard of things like, oh, design thinking, SWOT. So we need to do a SWOT to know this, etc. So yes, I am following the time. We're done. So sorry, it's a little distracting. Yeah, so these are some of the things we will look into on the course. And then your tools, right? So these are actual work tools that you would work with. So yeah, we'll take a deeper look into this when we start. Right, so this is what the curriculum looks like. So it is divided into two major parts. So week one, we will be focused on product thinking, where we will, do some research on our product idea, and then we'll also craft our product vision, and then we'll also document. We'll create our product requirement documents, and yeah, then we'll also do some flow diagrams. We'll do some interviews as well. So you'll be talking to actual customers. So you will have tasks, to do. Then once we're done with all this in week one, week two, that's when we'll execute. Well, I would have loved us to work with engineers, but hey, we have just a few days, so we'll just work amongst ourselves. We'll be making wireframes, right? We'll design. We won't do it on. You may not do it on Figma, but using your paper and your pencil. Then I'll introduce us to Agile principles, and then the Agile methodology as well. Then we'll look at metrics, prioritization, etc. Right, and then the final week we'll put everything together, and then you would have your products. Yes, so thank you everyone for listening to this session. I look forward to taking your questions.
Guys, are you clapping? See, if you're not clapping, you're not going anywhere with me. You better start clapping. Okay, we'll be here together.
Bianca is bullying every one of us.
Only one person cannot come and clap out of over 40.
You're bullying every one of us.
I'm bullying everybody to clap. I'll bully you to clap. I'll bully you to.
Guys, this is how Bianca bullies everybody. Everybody.
Wow, thank you so much. Like, guys, this thing is free of charge. Just use the emoji for free. Don't pay. Don't worry. Leave the money. I'll pay for you.
So someone said he or she did not hear anything.
You heard a network. I think a network was straight out. So
okay.
Yeah, you can get to use the YouTube link, Mudema. So someone said he was joining via the YouTube because his network also was, misbehaving. So yeah, you can join via the YouTube. You can ask Kehinde Sule Ibrahim. Yeah. Or possibly I will also share you the link as well. So thank you so much. Wow. Well, I've decided in my mind that I'm not switching any career path. Nobody can bully me to any career path. I shall move to no career path. Nobody. Thank you so much for that wonderful session. In fact, if Olona did not say anything, me, I shall stay in my home because I don't know why nobody's talking. Nobody's talking. Oh, nice, Stephanie. Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry. In fact, if not that you're paid, I would have said,
Thank you.
So Stephanie said, bravo, Nifemi, wonderful intro and presentation. Thanks, Nifemi. I love your voice. That's the thing that's why I wanted Nifemi to even present last because Nifemi had this view of talking. He's now to carry all of us. He's alive. Beware, guys, beware. She just has a cool voice too. Product management is interesting. Well, it's not easy. Go and do software testing. Yeah, but that was such a fantastic presentation. It's quite very interesting. If you're someone that you like communicating, just time Nifemi very well. I'm sure that if you need anything with product management, she will get it for you. Thank you so much, Nifemi. That was such a fantastic session. And guys, if you have any question, please drop them in the chat section. I can see nice one, Nifemi. Thank you, Nifemi. Why are you people sins? Why are you people sins? Nice. So if you have any question, please drop them in the chat section. And after Eniola is done, we'll take all the questions and answer them. And that's it. All right. So up next is Eniola. I actually like that name. Like, I don't know why my mommy gonna mind my daddy that now have that kind of my own son name. There's also out like, do you see that son name? Equal Ola Eniola. Like, everything is just Ola. Come on, my mommy, why now? It's also big name, you know? Yeah, her name is Eniola Ipola. I don't have a profile, but so somebody said our picture is not on the IG page. Our picture is there. Her picture is there. It's just that she's finer than what you are seeing. That's why her picture is there. Don't miss it all. Don't miss it all. Even another picture is there. You know that right now they are at home, they are just relaxing, nothing much. That's why you're not seeing them. Yeah, so thank you so much, Annie, for having you. So Annie will be taking us on Android development. That was the Android I said I did calculator, I run away. Maybe now I can find my part. Maybe this is the genesis that I run away. So yeah, over to you, Eniola. You can have the floor.
Hi, Bironke. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for the introduction. I think Nifemi is actually very right. You just hype someone like, please. All right, good evening, everyone. I'll go ahead to share my screen and I'll be talking about Android development. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so let's talk about Android development. I am hoping that after this session, I would be able to pack everyone to come and do Android development on this course. And I'm very sure, I'm assuring that you have an amazing time and you'll enjoy yourself.
Android, see, all of us, Android.
Okay, so a little about me, and you're like, well, who am I? Sorry, that's a typo. I'm an Android engineer at Launchpad. At Launchpad, we do a bit of law and tech. So basically, that's what we do, law plus tech. Then I build Android applications. I've built applications across law, fintech, health sector. And yes, I love what I do. So I volunteer for available mentorship opportunities. And that is why I'm here as well, at least to help beginners come into Android development. A little about my journey into technology. Okay, my first introduction to technology was in 2014. And my first programming language was actually Java. And then I was in part 1, and I remember that what brought me to technology in the first place, right? What brought me into technology is the fact that I was in school and I wanted to take a skill out of school. So I was discussing with a senior colleague then, and I remember that she mentioned that, oh, Eniola, if you're going to leave this, before you leave your department, ensure you take a skill out of your department. And that's because that is what will matter when you're out of school. And I really didn't know what that meant. But then getting to the department, let me mention that, okay, I studied computer engineering. So I was into computer, I studied computer engineering in school. So looking into asking further questions from people, what are the skills that this person mentioned? And why was she telling me to learn the skill? I realized that there is something really attached to this skill that is very, very important outside of school. And I decided to take it up. So this 2014 when I started Java, it was first semester, no, the sessional break, part 1 sessional break. And there was somebody taking Java course for 2,000 naira. And myself and some of my classmates decided to stay back in school and take the course. And that was my introduction to technology. Okay, so I'll just run through the remaining parts. In 2015, let me say that after that 2 weeks learning on Java, I was off. I was not practicing, I wasn't doing anything, and I waited till 2015. So 2015, that was 2015, 2017 for me was part 2 to part 4. Don't forget that, okay, my course is a 5-year course. So part 2 to part 4, I was in backend development, doing web technologies. But I've always had an interest in Android development, but I never really had any introduction to it. So 2016, 2017, I had my first internship And my first internship was actually in backend development as well. So during my internship opportunity, I didn't do Android. And eventually in 2017, I moved into Android fully because I was just interested in Android. Let's say it is good to say that I had like mastered my skills to some extent in backend development before I came into Android, right? But I was just interested in Android and I was really willing to go deeper in it. So 2017, my final year project was my first Android application that I built. And like from 2017 to this current time, I've been working as a full-time mobile engineer. Okay, so later in this slide, I'm going to like differentiate between Android and mobile, and I look forward to our response. I'll ask a couple of questions so that this session is going to be like it won't be me alone talking. So basically, I'll be like asking us questions about what we think is the difference between an Android developer and a mobile developer. Okay, going to my next slide. Okay, common means developer. So people think that, oh, they are too old to start this journey. I would say that like anytime you get introduced to tech is the best time. Like there is no age limit, or there is no specific age that you're supposed to have gotten started. Anytime you decide to pick up a career in technology, even outside of Android development, it's just the best time. Then also, you do not need a computer science degree to be able to come into Android development. Actually, you do not need to have studied computer science or electrical engineering in school. I have people on my team that studied English. I have people on my team that studied education courses, and yet they are doing very well in technology. So that is not really, it's just a myth, as you mentioned. Android development is hard. Okay. I hear a lot of Android is hard. The bitter truth is, it is actually very, very simple. Like it is very, very simple. And the most interesting part is, it is what you relate with every single day. You relate with our Android applications every day. Let me say mobile applications, depending on the devices you're using. Like you picking up your phone and going through your contact list to place a call. You are interacting with an Android application. You trying to send out a message with your message app is an Android application. You joining this particular meeting, I'm very sure that some of us joined on our mobile devices using Zoom. That's an Android application. So like we interact with it every day. So we have something that we really relate with every single time. So Android development is not hard. Then I have to learn the latest technology as it comes out. Let me mention that like a lot of new things comes out every year in Android, and you don't actually have to learn immediately it comes out. Like you can ease yourself into learning about these technologies. So you do not put pressure on yourself to learn a particular technology because it is the latest in town. No. Then another one is Android is only used for mobile applications. No, Android is not used for Android applications alone. Android is used on televisions. Android is used for variables. So we have other use cases. You can decide to develop for a variable device. You can decide to develop for a television. So you don't actually have to develop for like phones specifically. Yeah. So this course says start with something simple and start with something simple and something simple and small, then expand over time. If people call it a toy, you are definitely onto something. So the goal is to start small, expand over time, grow and build your skill over time. And as you develop and grow your skill, you get more confidence in the field you have chosen. Now, I will be going to the chat sections to ask. I have two different images. One saying this is Android and one saying this is mobile. From those images, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think is the difference between Android and mobile development? What do you think is the difference between Android development and mobile development? So I'm in the chat section. I'm trying to like read our messages. I'm waiting on our responses. What do you think is the difference between Android and mobile development? What do you think? Give me your suggestions, please. Okay, so I'm still waiting on our responses. Any contribution from anyone? What do you think is the difference? Oh, Veronica said, may we not be confused though. Okay. All right, let me just explain. Yeah, Android is an OS. Okay, so when you're an Android developer, you build for Android OS alone. When you're an Android developer, you build for Android OS alone. When you are a mobile developer, that means you're building for Android devices, you're building for iOS devices. So that is the difference. When you're an Android developer, you build for Android OS alone. When you are an iOS developer, you're building for both Android. I'm sorry, when you're a mobile developer, you're building for both Android and iOS devices. So that is actually the difference between an Android engineer and a mobile engineer. And the thing is, the languages for these different platforms, they actually they're different. So that is why you can't say because you're an Android engineer, you're a mobile engineer. No, you can't say because you're an Android developer, you're a mobile developer. No, yeah. Android is for smartphone. Yes, iOS is a smartphone too. So that is that. So go on to the next slide. Thank you for the contribution then. So we'll be going to what Android development is. And Android development, as easy as it seems, it is the process of developing an application for Android devices. It's just as simple as that. Building applications for Android devices. Then Android devices, they run on Android OS. And as I mentioned earlier, Android devices can be phone, a wearable, e.g. a smartwatch is an example of a wearable, or a television. So basically, Android development is you building products, building solutions that run on Android OS. Yeah. Okay, so what are your responsibilities as an Android developer? I categorize this into two just for the scope of what we'll be covering in this program. And that is like stage one is to build, and stage two is for you to be conscious of your users. And I said in building, you basically develop an application that meets a given requirement. That means you develop an application to solve a particular problem. That's the word. Every product they bring to you to come and build, they actually have like problem statement of what the product is trying to achieve. So your responsibility is to take the requirements that you've been given. Let me use take the requirements that's been given to you from Nifemi as the product manager and like bring it to life as an Android application. Then it's still your responsibility as well to get the application to your users. We know that the way you get your application to your user is like deploying the application to Play Store and the likes. So now user satisfaction talks about you ensuring that users actually enjoy what you have built. So it is your responsibility as an Android developer to ensure that what you have developed, what you have like come up with, users are actually very satisfied about it. So in the process of trying to meet like user satisfaction, that means you're meeting up with the specifications that were given to you as a developer to come up with a solution. Then you would also be resolving bugs. You have to resolve a lot of bugs on your products over time, especially after it has gotten to the users and it is in active use. This would always come up in like your programming experience or in your career as you progress in your career. So up next, we are talking about next. Sorry. I need to come. Okay. Places you can work as an Android engineer. You can work in whole tech companies as long as they have an Android product that they are building. We have tech companies around us that do a lot. We have La Pavilion, Piggyvest, Carrywise. Just look like there are a lot of companies. We have Kudi. We have there are a lot of companies in Nigeria currently that they have like mobile teams that you can join, and you can join them as an intern. You can join them as a junior developer, depending on your skill level. Like you can join them as whatever it is you want to join them, but as an Android developer, yes. Also, you can decide to freelance. Okay, so I've worked on a couple of freelance projects that are outside of work, and like how you can do freelancing. There are platforms on which you can like apply for projects and get to freelance. Upwork is a very good platform you can decide to apply on to do freelancing. Also, we have individual clients. They're not really companies. They have products they want to build. They have solutions they want you to develop a mobile application for them, and they're ready to pay your money. So individual clients too is another way of you like working on projects. Yeah, so those are the places you can work as an Android developer. Next slide. Okay, talking about what we hope to achieve in 2 weeks. Okay, in 2 weeks, you'll be learning Android development, and our programming language is Kotlin. We'll be doing an introduction to programming in Kotlin, and this includes like the basic syntax of the language. It includes your loops, like just a basic introduction into like programming proper. Then up next, we'll be learning to actually design beautiful applications. Like we'll actually be learning to design very, very beautiful applications. You know, applications that are appealing to the eye, applications that meet design requirements. And basically, we'll be learning how to do this in this 2 weeks of development. And after the 2 weeks, during the course of the 2 weeks, and while we're rounding up, we'll be building 2 applications. One is a welcome application that's basically like welcomes you into Android development. And well, when we get to class, I will talk about these things. You're going to customize it to your own personal taste, what you want to see on the application. It's just about you and what you hope to gain and all of those things. So we'll be working on the welcome application. Then we'll be working on the movies app. The movies app would be to like go a little advanced and talk about some advanced things in design in Android, and also managing data and the likes, depending on how far we can go within the time frame that we have. So I just know that like if you're in this class, 2 weeks, 2 projects. Yeah, thank you. Now going to the requirements. The requirements are not much. Just have a functional laptop, have good internet, and have power supply. You need good internet because trust me, you would have to research and debug a lot of things. You need a functioning laptop because our ID is Android Studio, and Android Studio is quite heavy, a little, so you need your system to be quite good. Also, another thing I'm very particular about is your consistency. Okay, so for me, I feel like sometimes if I've been consistent earlier when I came into technology, maybe not. I could have moved further than this, maybe not. I'm just saying. But like first 3 years of first 2 years, I was like on and off. And I realized that if you are consistent, you can actually go further in a shorter period of time. So we have just a month now. So it will be best for us to be very consistent. And let me also say that you'd have to like study outside of class too to understand some things better and everything, but I am available to walk us through this journey. So let's ride on. Then next slide, salary range. Okay, salary range of an Android engineer. I just basically gave an estimate based on my little understanding about the Nigerian job market. I didn't want to give for the global job market because I didn't get like solid statistics to give to us. In sense, average Nigerian company would pay like about 50 to 100K. Some pay very, very well, very, very good. And it can go as high as 200,000 actually for an intern, yes. While a junior developer, average company will pay 100 to 350K. And some pay more than that and go higher as like 500,000 naira. And intermediate dev go from most times 350 to 500. But like average company would pay 250 to 500. While senior engineers, they go from around 800 to like 1.52 M. Yes, Nigerian companies pay that. Nigerian companies, no, not international gigs now. Nigerian companies pay that amount. So it's like a very, very lucrative opportunity to come into technology and not only learn and make impact. You learn, then you apply your knowledge in making impact. Then the process of making impact, you earn good money as well. So next slide. Yeah, that is all from me. Thank you. Any questions for me? And I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse you, convince you to come and do Android development in the course of this program. Yeah, that's all from me. If you don't care, any questions from me, I'm here for all the questions. 10 minutes left. Don't worry, I don't need more. I don't need up to 10 minutes. I'm done already. And Angela said, "I'm just tempting someone. Please come and enjoy like 2 weeks of amazing experience." Thank you. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. So sorry, I was muted.
No
Thank you so. Almost everybody, yeah, she has confused everybody. That's why I want to be doing my software testing course at the end of this webinar. See, next course, I will do my presentation.
Questions. Okay, can I see questions for me already?
Because when I stay at the back, I talk to them last, and then they can pick me. You understand? What all these people that now, if I come and confuse them, I've trained them to forget what they learned on Monday. This is, and Eli just someone said, and Eli just tempting someone. Oh, why is it that we need to upgrade our phone app frequently? Okay, all those upgrades you used to do. You go and meet the company's developer.
Okay,
thank you so much. No, yeah, we will answer questions. Thank you so much, Enela. That was such a convincing and confusing session. In fact, it's confusing session because I come and convince everybody now. Guys, stay where you are. Don't let anybody. It's all these people. They are experts in their field, and they can easily sway you to their field. So hold your heart. Remember the Bible says, "Keep your heart jealously." So thank you so much, Enela. That was such a fantastic session. So I can see a lot of you saying thank you. Hey, before I ask if I've already started, wait, you people have not started clapping. Only Stephen has been clapping. Okay, I'm not going to ask any question if you did not clap. No question. I'm not even asking any question. If you know you have mind to ask question, you should have hand to clap. You are not asking. I'm not asking any question for you. Stephanie, do you have any question? Let me go and check if Stephanie has any question. Now you can't use emoji. I'm not going to ask your question. No. Okay. Let me forgive you people. So guys, start dropping your question. I said that in the PM section, nobody asked question. Maybe you are shy. You tell me I've used sweet voice to carry all of you and go. Ask a question, no. But yeah, let me shift questions to Andrea because I actually scroll up. I didn't see anyone for Nifemi. But again, if you have questions about product management, start dropping them. If you have questions about Android, please start dropping them and let's start asking. And like just tempting someone, thank you. And this one is just blushing. So Prince said, why is it that we need to upgrade our phone app frequently? Let me allow Enola to answer that one.
Okay, thank you for the question. The basic reason is because there are new updates available that if you don't do the updates, you don't have access to them. And I'm going to give like a typical example. Do we know, has anybody noticed the new WhatsApp video and voice call? Like it's different from what existed previously. Like the way you can add somebody to a call now, or the way the ring and the dial happens. Now that update, you have access to that update because you've updated your app from the Play Store. So basically what the update does is at a particular point in time, WhatsApp had the previous implementation for that feature. And at the point when you are updating, they've done like an improvement on that implementation. I hope I've not confused anyone here. So basically just mean that there are new things for you to explore in the application, probably bug fixes or new features for you to download. And basically that's what is released as updates for you. Yeah, that's the answer to the question. I hope you understand that.
Yes, you actually did. And somebody who asked, so the example, the illustration you gave about WhatsApp, somebody who asked about it not go to Play Store. So how did it get?
Sometimes you can, your update is downloaded like on the background, but you're not aware of it. They actually like, once you have internet access, they can pull updates from a mobile application. You can decide to force a user to update the app without actually going to Play Store. Yes, it's very possible.
Yeah. So when you see that let me just tell you what she's trying to say is that when you see that you get the notification that clinical MV has been used, is because they are able to do some upgrade behind the scene. They did not tell you. They have helped you to do it. So yes, update can be done, and the essence of it is for the sake of you to have access to the latest thing that is being done. Right. So thank you so much for answering that. Angela said, please don't charm me and you're like, I am a broken. Oh shit, that's my person. That's my oh my god, I'm really oh my god. That's my person. Don't worry, Angela. In fact, take my virtual high five. Thank you. Anyways, I know they have been charmed. That's what we're trying to say. I refuse to be tempted when you are very asing. Anyway, please, can I ask a question that has to do with software testing? Please, you can drop to ask me on Slack. All right. Today is for Android and PM. Okay. So, and Adeniran Samuel asked me on Slack. Someone said, I'm confused at this stage. Officially confused. Android developing, calling my name loud and clear. My brother.
Please come.
So you have to, this time around, I've told you by the time you are done with you have to go and ask God on which part you need to follow. Last, that's what you have to do. Yeah, so many class. Somebody said, seriously, this time they can confuse person, but okay. Okay, so Stephanie, okay, so the last one is that can someone make money from app created as users increases? Nice question.
Okay, so that's very nice. Let me mention that yes, you can make money from like number of users, but not exactly because of how many downloads you have on your Android application. And I'll tell you how you can make money. You can make money if like there are things that we call ads that you can run from within your project, right? And that can like probably in the long run give you money. But the major way of making money off a mobile application is that you are providing value through the application to your users. Is that value that will bring you money? Not exactly how many people have downloaded or installed your application. Play Store do not pay people or developers or companies for number of downloads. No. What would bring you money is actually the problem statements that the app is actually addressing, and basically the way you've decided to monetize the application. So it's actually a myth in Android that you make money off like numbers of downloads. No, you actually can't make money from number of downloads on Play Store. Yeah, that's the response from me.
Thank you so much for that response. So Fasha Kimotunaya says at some point that you are using a particular app on the phone and it suddenly says app stop working and close. What is this? My sister, the app has crashed. That you see, that is the spirit of a tester. The app has not crashed.
The app has crashed. That's basically it.
So that's the answer. I'm telling you from the spirit of a tester that the app has crashed. And then I is telling you from the spirit of the Android developer that the app has just crashed.
The other things that can make the app crash now, apart from code bugs.
What else? The memory side. No. Go ahead.
Okay.
Just answer. Don't let us start this thing here. Just answer. Okay, so Gold said that all team leads are for webinar on point since Monday. O'Shea. So somebody said, are we going to be doing mobile engineering projects for 2 weeks or Android?
Basically Android though. Basically Android. Yeah.
So Prince, since that is what you guys are going to be working on, so that's definitely what you're going to be doing project on. In fact, typically, whatever you're going to be doing project on, you have been taught in the course of the 2 weeks. So yeah, same thing for every other thing. So no question for PM. Guys, but you can't just allow Nifemi to go. Nifemi, I have a question. So can you I don't even know what I want to ask her. At this point, I don't know what I want to ask her. So Nifemi, can you shed more light on the difference between project management and Scrum Master? I must ask questions.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's a very good and interesting question. Actually, Scrum Masters actually play the role of project management in a Scrum setting. I don't know if that's clear. So under Agile, we have different methodologies, and one of them is Scrum. We have the Scrum methodology, right? And then under Scrum, you typically have your product manager, you would have a product owner, and then there are some, and these terms, right, are unique to every organization, actually, because some organizations will tell you that, oh, we have a PO. Some organizations have a product owner, they have a product manager as well. While some they only have product owner, and the product owner will be fulfilling the roles of it too. Some will have the product owner, they will have product manager, and then some will also have product manager and Scrum Master. So Scrum Masters actually are usually focused on execution. So what they do, I'll give you an example of what a Scrum Master does under the Scrum methodology. So for example, the backlog, is the Scrum Master that will be focused on, on the backlog, writing of tickets, ensuring that all the Scrum ceremonies, stand up, sprint planning, the Scrum Master will be focused on that, like on the execution part, where product manager will be focused on the strategic part. So yes, a Scrum Master actually is like a project manager, to be honest, under the Scrum setting.
All right, thank you so much for that answer. Thank you for elaborating on it. So guys, you have it. So somebody also said that, okay, Ojo Johnson said, what are the requirements to be an expert in product management? How long it takes? Is there a recognized certification for product management? Okay. So 2 questions.
Right, thank you so much, Ojo Johnson. Interesting questions. So requirements to be an expert in product management, it actually depends really, because so we have some product managers that are like, they are general product managers in quotes, and I will explain what I mean by that. Like, they understand product management, they are really, really good at what they do. And then some of them eventually, rise to become product coaches, right? So for example, there's this guy, Ken Norton. He used to work at Google. Now he does coaching with some other guys like that, right? And then they are really good in what they do. And we also have some product managers that are like experts in specific areas. So for example, a product manager who is focused on artificial intelligence, right? Or a product manager who knows who understands fintech, right? Understands the fintech space. So my answer to you, the simple answer is really, it depends, on which area you want to specialize in. So the requirements will be dependent on what exactly you want to be an expert in. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So what I'm trying to say is, if, for example, you really, really, really want to master the mobility space and you want to know how to build products for mobility, then you know that you would have to, consume all the data, all the information, all the trends around mobility, right? And the duration is not fixed. I really do not know. It depends on how long it takes you, really. And then if you want to be an expert in, say, building for in the audio space, right? So that means you have to, build yourself, acquire skills to be very, very good in that particular area. So as a product manager, you can work in any sector, really, any sector. However, once you're starting your career, sorry, I'm taking that last question and merging with the first question because I think they are sort of related. So when you're starting out your career, typically companies will, employ entry-level product managers with generic skills. So for example, they will test your ability to think analytically, your communication skills, and then they would ask you questions, around leadership. They would test your leadership competencies. So I remember when I started as an intern, basically my employer wanted to know what I was doing outside of school, right? If I was taking responsibilities, if I had any experience at all taking responsibilities, because that's what you'll be doing as a product manager. Taking you own the products, right? You'll have to ensure that you're doing things to ensure that the product succeeds. And even if you have no experience and you're just starting out, you must be able to show that you can do that. And how can you show? Number one, maybe you were a class governor in school, right? Or maybe you have a business that you run, or maybe you are volunteering somewhere. All those things show that, hey, this person, can take responsibilities. One, it shows that. Two, this person can lead people. Number three, it also shows that you can work with people, right? Because as a product manager, you need to be able to collaborate. Number four, it also shows that you can communicate. So if you're just starting out, most of the tests will be generic. Now, to add to that, I'll add a clause to that. There are some industries where if you're just starting out, some specific industry skills may be required. So for example, if you want to work with a crypto firm, a company, building, say, a crypto marketplace, even though you are entry level, the organization may require that you understand the fundamentals of cryptocurrency, of blockchain, of cryptography, etc., so that you can, speak the lingo and so that you can make great decisions, for your team, because as a product manager, you also be making decisions, right? Now, as you advance in your career, depending on, what industry what industry interests you, because as a product manager, you need to be very, very interested in that product, right? To make it thrive. Now, specific industry skills will be required. So for example, if Paystack is recruiting a product manager for their gateway now, they would want someone who has an experience building, in that particular space, someone that has a knowledge of the fintech space, that knows how to establish partnerships, right? So here I have, a question. Is there a certification for product management? So yes, there are different certifications actually for product management. There is the AI PMM, right? It's a certification, and then I can share this on Slack after now. Then for Scrum, there are also different certifications for Scrum. However, then there is a product school. Product school has different certifications for product management. However, I like to emphasize and prioritize skill over certification, right? Of course, there are some, I've actually had, I think one interview where I was specifically asked for certifications, right? But like for most product roles I see online, most of them typically do not require certification. Most of them, prioritize experience above certification. And that's my own preference too. I would rather work with someone who knows the hacks and then the hacks of this thing, than someone who has all the certifications and then cannot implement. But certifications are also good. They help you. One of the things they help you with is to use the right lingo, the right terms. That's something that an MBA also helps you with. Okay, sorry, I'm taking too much time now. Which sector can a product manager fit in? Any sector, anywhere. Someone said,
yeah, Ojo said, can a certified project manager work as a product manager?
Okay, yes, I saw one. Yes, sorry, I'll come to that. Does it mean I must have leadership skills as a product manager? Yes, it's important to have leadership skills because you'll be working with your team. You'll be setting direction. So you need to be able to lead. And one thing you should understand about leadership is not dictatorship. It's not bossing people around. It's the ability to influence people. Yeah, so you need to be able to influence people. Yes. Yes, so somebody said the question you asked, sorry, I missed the question.
Okay, the question says that, can a certified project manager work as a product manager?
Yes. Anybody can work as a product manager. In fact, some engineers, spend some years in writing code, and then after some time they transition. So anybody can transition. So yes.
Okay, thank you so much for answering all those our questions. So you waited for me to ask my question first before we started bombarding here with questions. Okay, now I get the scope. So thank you so much. Are there any other question? So we call it a day. Any question? Any question? Any question? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so in the absence of no question, it's a wrap for today. Thank you so much to our speakers, Mrs. Nifemi and Annie. Those are for product management and Android. I believe you have gotten quite a lot of clarity today as well as regard these two career choices as well. And you know a lot about which to do. So Babatunde said, guess I have to throw dice to select one. No. Prince said, as a PM, which code do we need to learn? Because you talk about code just now. Is she? Nife, are you there?
Okay. I hope we can still hear me. Yes. I can't remember talking about code. The last thing I said was that some software engineers actually transition. So as a product manager, you do not need to know how to code to do your job. However, a knowledge of, programming languages can be helpful on your jobs. I'll give you an example. If you are a product manager on AWS is Amazon Web Service, right? And then, it's an infrastructure platform for cloud, right? For DevOps, etc. Now, if you're a product manager and then you're handling a very, 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 very technical product, it's important that you understand the elements, that make up that particular domain. So you don't need to know how to code, but like an understanding of programming can be very helpful. And I'll give you an example of how I have found that very helpful in my job. So I remember there was a time, I think it was last year actually. Last year, at the start of the year, I just I made up my mind. I set a goal to learn more about databases, right? And to just know how to set up a database and then to be able to query a database. So if I need to extract data, I don't want to have to go and meet an engineer every time. I want to be able to do it myself. And then I want to be able to, just smooth things around. And then I bought a particular course and then just work with it. Now, several months down the line, I'd written a particular ticket, and then one of the engineers I was working with, had an issue, extracting a particular data that she was supposed to display. And because I had that knowledge, I, just asked her questions. Oh, what challenges are you experiencing? And then she explained to me. And then I just spent some time, with the DB, just looking at the tables, and then I was able to actually help. I was able to extract that particular data that she needed because I knew how to query my tables, because I had an understanding of my SQL, right? So that's an example of how an understanding of all these things can be very helpful. So you do not need to learn how to code, but like an understanding of programming and understanding a technical knowledge can be very helpful, and it's something you can build along the line. I hope that answers.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that response. That's quite amazing. Ojo also asked that please, if you want to do one SQL knowledge for do one need SQL knowledge for software testing? I guess that's the question. And of course, yes, you also need SQL knowledge because you'll be dealing with database. So you see all this thing that Android, front end, back end, they're going to be doing. You are going to be testing it. So you need the knowledge to be able to test it. And in fact, probably after this foundation course from CS Launchpad, by the time you dive into software testing, the advanced 3-1 courses or any other course that you dive into, you would have an hands-on experience on SQL knowledge. So yes, it is required for software testing. Okay, we are so on time today. Thank you so much, everyone. I really love how engaging today was. The questions, the answers, you know, the clap to those that their hands were clapping, to those that were just looking. I'm looking at all of you DP, and I can see the way Kevway is looking, like he just relaxed on his cap, just looking at you like, what are you putting? And of course, I mean, Victor has always been peeping. I don't know where he has always been peeping from up down. Anyways, so thank you so much, everyone. It was quite a very amazing session with every one of you. Thank you to our speakers, Nifemi and Eniola, and thank you to everyone that stayed through. And of course, this session is recorded, so you always have the time to re-listen. So again, if you at any point miss the sessions, you know, probably during work tomorrow, you can just play it, put your earpiece in your ear and listen to it while you work, okay? That is an advantage of it being a virtual training. So you can always like have a recap at any point. And then when it's time for meeting, you guys can all decide when you want to meet. So basically that's it for today. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow is the final day for this course presentation. And of course, we are having graphics designing tomorrow. And then on Friday, we will leave you to make your decision. This is time for you to throw your dice. For those that want to throw dice, this is time for you to throw your dice and then make a career decision. So from the decision you make, we'll not divide you for the next 2 weeks to learn with every other member that are interested, right? So on Friday, you are going to make that decision. And on Saturday, we are going to be having a career webinar. See, in fact, if you have missed session on Monday, you have missed on Tuesday. Let's say you have even missed today, in case of people that are going to be listening back. So like you are listening to me now in the recorded session. Don't miss on Saturday. Because we are going to be having an amazing software engineer. They're going to tell you like lessons of a software engineer, someone that's been into this field for years. You know, they all started like the way you are starting, and they have been in this field also for years, right? So it's coming, and he's a software engineer from Zalando, right? He's a software engineer. That's where he works. He works at Zalando, but you get to know more details about him. And of course, I'll be your honorable host, even though we have another host for that session, but I will come and say something. So you expect to have such an amazing time on Saturday. Of course, you have the timetable. You have the link to join the meeting already. Make sure you don't miss any of those sessions. These are the things that informs your decision and help you know that, yes, you're on the right career path. Remember, especially for those that are just beginning, you don't have any idea about the old tech thing. You want to make a decision. These webinars, the essence is for you to help you make an informed decision. Don't just go and learn something because you heard it from somebody, because it was interesting. Yeah, the way the person said it sweets your ear. No, that's not how you make a long-lasting career decision. You have to really make a decision, an informed decision from having multiple choice. Like an example I gave on my Monday, I said there's a difference between when I have only rice and I present you rice and say, what would you eat? Of course, it's only rice you can see. So you say you want to eat rice. And it's totally different when we are presenting with different varieties of food, rice and malai, about all the things you know you like to eat. And then I now say, what do you want to eat? You have the privilege to make an informed decision and say, no, I'm eating rice in the morning, let me go for swallow, right? And that is just what we are doing. So throughout this week, all we are giving to you is varieties. And we are not asking you to make an informed decision out of it. So we are going to be capping it all on Saturday with a career talk. And please don't miss it. All right, so I would love to see every one of you tomorrow and also on Saturday. Of course, we are not meeting on Friday. So it's only on Thursday and on Saturday we are going to be meeting. And please don't miss any of those 2 days. Very important. So that'll be all for today. Thank you so much and have a lovely day. Bye. Thank you, Nifemi. Thank you, Annie. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.